5-minute video. Debbie Dingell joins me now here on set. Congresswoman, it's always great to have you on the show. Thanks for coming back.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you as well. So the obvious question, what to do? Do you think that Democrats should move forward with impeachment proceedings? Is there enough in this report to do that?
Well, first of all, anybody who reads this report, which I did do when I got back here on Thursday night, cannot not be struck by the level of interference that Russia tried to do in our elections in 2016, and that danger is very real for 2020. I am struggling as to what we do next. There is nothing that makes you feel good when you read this report. It's very clear to me that Barr was a defense attorney and not the chief legal or law enforcement officer of our country when he wrote that 4-page report. Our responsibility in Congress is to protect and defend the Constitution and the fundamental pillars of that Constitution, but it's also to protect our democracy. So is there enough evidence? I want Mueller to testify. I look forward to hearing that. The committees need to see the redacted version. I don't care if I do that or not. I do care. I would like to see it, but I think committees have got that responsibility. Do we begin impeachment? Is there enough there? Do you let people get away with this? Or do we also have to keep our country together? And what is the impact of an impeachment that is not done in a bipartisan way? And third, we still have a lot of work to do, which is the point I was making this week, like lowering prescription drugs. What are we doing about trade policies? Are going to protect jobs and level the playing field? There's a lot of...
So what is the sense that you have about where things stand in your caucus on this very question? I mean, the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, had said that the president was just not worth it. He was not worth the impeachment proceedings. Is that still the view that leadership holds?
I think people are struggling. I don't think that they might use those words. I think we all take our responsibilities very seriously to protect our national security. How do you make sure that our elections are safe in 2020? Because the same set of factors that are sitting there in 2016 are still there. The number of contacts that Russia made trying to divide us. That's what people, when you read that report, Russia was trying to divide this country. Look at this country right now. Are they succeeding? Are we worried about that? How are we going to pull ourselves together? These are really serious issues that matter. It's our democracy.
And if you look at all of the conduct that's laid out in the Mueller report, the things the president ordered the people around him to do to try and interfere with the investigation into Russian interference, what happens if Congress looks the other way?
You can't look the other way, but Congress has a very fundamental responsibility for oversight, which is what we're going to continue to have the Judiciary Committee, the Intelligence Committee, and the Oversight and Investigations Committee. So you've got 3 committees that are looking at this very seriously, and you've got 3 chairmen that are very good at what they're doing. I'd like to see the Senate do a little more of this work than they're doing.
Yeah, it seems pretty clear that they're not going to.
I mean, that's part of what's so... but you can't let them get away with it. But there's still a lot more investigations going on as well. The other thing that I want to make really clear is that there can be no ambiguity about what you think about Russia trying to interfere in our elections. We take an oath to defend and protect the Constitution. That means you don't let Russia, you don't collude with Russia, you don't have Russia interfere in our elections.
Does it mean that you don't use information that the Russians hacked in your campaigns the way Rudy Giuliani defended
this morning? That is not the man that was the hero of this country on 9/11 to ever say that it's okay. Anybody who was contacted by the Russians that said that they wanted to help interfere in our elections had a fundamental responsibility to report that to the FBI. It didn't happen, and that's disturbing.
Do you think all candidates should refuse to use hacked information in their campaigns going forward?
Yes, I do. I think we've really got to tighten. This is one of the privacy laws, the hacking, that is people that it's illegally captured information that should not be used. I don't know how you enforce it. That's one of the problems. But they should all take the pledge and actually try to be honorable people and deliver on what they're pledging.
Do you think pursuing impeachment proceedings would hand the White House back to Donald Trump in 2020?
I am... I've been home for a week. Came in to do the addresses you saw and visit Arlington Cemetery, but I'll be back home tomorrow. People aren't now. I do know that I will hear about impeachment next week when I go home. But people are worried about their prescription drug costs. All I've done for the last 3 weeks is hear about the asthma inhaler that costs $700 now. They want something done about that. I hear my auto workers are really worried about trade and the jobs they're still seeing go to Mexico. So we can do both. We've got a responsibility to protect our Constitution, but our constituents expect us to get some work done for the people, too.
All right. Well, very interested to know what you hear from any town halls and events you have back home.
I have many this next week.
Coming up this next week. Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, thank you so much, as always. We always love having you.